Every morning, hundreds of people walked past him, but almost nobody ever noticed him. His name was Thomas, and everyone knew him only as the janitor. But Daniel was different. Young, ambitious, and obsessed with success, Daniel believed your position in life determined your worth. One morning, Thomas accidentally spilled a little water near Daniel's expensive shoes. Daniel stopped. He looked down, and his face immediately turned cold. "What are you doing?" Daniel shouted. "Do you even know how much these shoes cost?" Thomas lowered his head and quietly apologized. Daniel looked down at him. "You should know your place." Then he walked away, without looking back. Thomas watched him disappear around the corner. Then he smiled and whispered, "One day, you'll understand." Days passed, and Daniel continued treating Thomas as if he didn't matter. But Thomas never complained. He simply kept working. Then one night, Daniel stayed late at the office. The building was almost empty, and that's when he saw something strange. Thomas was walking toward the private executive offices, but something about him was different. He wasn't walking like a janitor. Daniel quietly followed him. Through the glass door, he saw Thomas standing beside the CEO, and the CEO was shaking his hand. The next morning, every employee was called into the conference room. Daniel sat among them, wondering what was happening. Then the CEO walked in. He stood at the front of the room and looked toward Thomas. "Before I retire, there is someone I want all of you to meet." Daniel looked at Thomas. His eyes widened, because the man he had humiliated was standing beside the CEO. The CEO smiled and said, "This is Thomas, the founder of this company." The room went completely silent. Daniel couldn't believe what he had just heard. 20 years earlier, Thomas had built the company from nothing. He had worked through sleepless nights, failed, started again, and eventually succeeded. But after becoming successful, Thomas wanted to learn something money couldn't teach him. He wanted to know how people treated those they believed were beneath them. So he became the janitor. He watched, he listened, and he learned. Daniel remembered every cruel word, every disrespectful look, every moment he had made Thomas feel invisible. And suddenly, he understood. "One day, you'll understand." Those words finally made sense. Daniel walked toward Thomas with tears of regret in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he said. "I judged you without knowing who you were." Thomas looked at him for a moment. Then he smiled and accepted his apology. Because Thomas didn't need revenge. He had already learned the lesson he came to discover. And Daniel finally learned his. True success is never about how high you rise. It's about how you treat people on your way up. So remember, never judge someone by the job they do. Never measure someone's worth by their clothes, their position, or the amount of money they have. Because the person you look down on today may be the person you need tomorrow. And sometimes, the quietest person in the room has the greatest story to tell. Respect everyone, because you never truly know who you're standing in front of.